It's like
I
think we're gonna have
I
to
look
talk
like I'm
about
12.
this. It's gonna be 2020
I look like I'm
makeover.
12.
We're gonna do 2020 makeover, guys. I think we all need a little. So, hello everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Feels. I'm licensed mental health counselor Patrick, New York. Wow, it's that kind of day. Licensed mental health counselor Patrick, Monette, in Plattsburgh, New York. And tonight I have two amazing gentlemen with me, Ryan and Blaise, and we're gonna get them introduced in a minute. I just want to do a couple little housekeeping things tonight. First of all, I just wanted to do a little shout out, as today is a day of our history, 9/11, 19 years ago. So I just wanted to remember that, and just knowing that we're never forget, as all of the memes say, and just kind of thoughts and everything out there for everyone that this has affected. And hopefully everyone's having a good day and staying safe in this crazy world, and just remembering, that we're together and we will support each other. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is on my Facebook and social media, I've been doing the giveaway. If you're a fan of pumpkin spice, then you will want in on this raffle. All you have to do is go to my website, patrickminute.com, and enter the raffle. And I will be pulling a winner next Wednesday. And tonight, as I was saying, we have two gentlemen. Tonight is going to be Friday Night Feels Men's Night In, so giddy up! I'm excited! so I've been looking forward to this for so long, because I knew it would be fun. We're going to talk about some serious stuff, but hopefully with a lot of humor, and just, get some great discussions out there. I got something up my sleeve that I was kind of warning the guys about, so we're going to do something a little different tonight. So I'm just going to ask that you each kind of just introduce yourself and just kind of like share your background, a little bit about yourself, and, we'll roll from there. So Blaise, why don't you start with us tonight?
All right. So my name is Blaise Harris. I am out of Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm a licensed clinical mental health counselor associate. So many letters now. I work out of a practice called 180 Counseling here. I am practicing part-time, but I am in the fire service full-time. So today holds a little bit more special, had a little bit more meaning for me. Been in the fire service for 14 years now, and looking to help other firefighters, police, any first responders, work through any of their trauma, any of their mental health issues that they have.
That's amazing. I'm so glad you're back. I hope this is, again, one of many of Men's Night In, because I had so much fun last time. And I'm so glad that you were able to fit us in.
Thank you for having me. Seriously, I'm looking forward to it.
And thank you for everything that you do, with the firefighters. I know not just doing the safety, but really bringing in and representing that mental health component. And I was telling Ryan, that you're trained in EMDR, so you're bringing in that set of skills to really help people who need it. So that's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
All right. And Mr. Ryan, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good. I don't want to follow that up, but I guess I will. He's much more interesting than me. No, I'm Ryan Cucunato. I'm based out of Western PA. My office is in a little town called Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania. I own my own private practice there called Slippery Rock Counseling Services. I've been in the mental health field for going on, I don't know, about 10 years now, almost 11. I've case management, children and youth services, in-home therapy, agency settings, and then, like I said, my own private practice. And I'm really excited to be here. This is going to be a fun topic, and if we don't start, I'm not gonna lie, we don't have a little time to talk about Star Wars, so I might be disappointed because.
I will fit it in. I will fit it in. It was on the flyer, and I always deliver what's on the flyer.
Yeah. I don't want to wear my shirt for nothing. I don't want to have to wear it for nothing.
Well, when I was prepping, I'm like, I don't even have any Star Wars attire, and my little Yoda's in my other office, so I'm like, I'm missing out. And we had one question so far. Maybe this is about the raffle from Elizabeth. Is pumpkin spice the Spice Girl that never made it?
That is so basic. Oh my God. Why is so basic with the pumpkin spice? Oh my God.
Here's my question. Like, have either of you guys ever had pumpkin spice?
I have.
Is it?
I have not.
I haven't either. So
I've judged it
because of the same thing of, in mid-August, you're hearing about it. I'm like, can I just enjoy my summer without thinking about the fall? And then it's all. I was in the store the other day. I'm not anti-pumpkin. I'm not. I'll enjoy pumpkin pie, but they have whipped cream that's in the flavor of pumpkin now. I'm like, I think that's a little bit much. I think it's a little much.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I've had it. I'm not a fan of it. My wife loves it. But just warn, if you drink it too much, you might start sporting Ugg boots after. Like, I'm just saying, I've heard that's a side effect of too much pumpkin spice makes you start wearing. I don't know. I don't get the connection, but
I never wore Ugg boots either. They look comfortable. People look happy with their little PLS.
Yeah, they do.
They do. They do. See, that's the exact reason why that's why I won't wear Crocs. Everybody, they look comfortable like everybody else do. I'm not gonna wear no Uggs.
I would kill myself in those.
But I say that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I will try. So I have to, and I don't really drink a lot of. I don't like coffee. So I don't know. Maybe if anyone watches it and can convince me, I'll definitely try it. And then Elizabeth is saying she's with you, Ryan. So she's feeling it. So
it's a side effect, you know.
So what I thought we would do, gentlemen, is what we had talked about is some heavy topics and toxic masculinity, the man box, all these different things. So I thought what we'd actually do is start, instead of just jumping in, is maybe play a couple rounds of a game. Are you up for it?
You're in control.
Okay.
Yes, sure.
So, this is a game that I normally play with my clients. It's called Therapeutic Jenga. So you take the regular Jenga blocks, but each block has a question to it. And then you just have to answer the question. So what I'm going to do is, and if anyone who's watching right now wants to jump in and pick a number, let me know and I'll ask you a question as well. Or if I ask a question that you like to answer, just join in. It's filter-free Friday Night Feels, so really there's no rules. So you can pick from a number between 1 and 49, and I will ask you a question, and you answer it as limited, fully, whatever you want, and any other members can jump in as well. So who wants to go first?
You want to rock, paper, scissors for it?
Sure.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Damn it. Rock, paper, scissors,
shoot. Okay.
All right. See, it's funny because when I was younger, my brother would cheat, and somehow he always knew what I was going to do, so he always won. So that's a little traumatic for him. I'm like, just do it. Right. All right, so, Ryan, you go first? Is that how that?
Sure.
Okay.
I won. I'll go first. It's cool.
Yeah. All right, pick a number.
26.
All right. Who taught you how to be a man growing up?
Oh, man. I was expecting like therapy questions. Oh man, okay.
Right?
Out of the box, yo.
I know I should have picked a different number. No, as I kind of think about it, growing up, I would think I was very fortunate. I had a couple different models between my dad who taught me no matter what, you do as much as you can for your family. Even if at times you have to sacrifice stuff yourself. I had two amazing grandparents who, my one was very work oriented. He was a hard worker. He did everything for the family, even though he was handicapped. He was always working on stuff. And my other, he worked a lot, but he was a little more in touch with himself. I don't know if that's being Italian. He was just a little closer. So I had that. But surprisingly, I think I contribute some of my most growing as a man to my nonna, which for people who don't know what that means, it technically means grandma in Italian, if I've been told. It was actually my great-grandma. And I know that's weird, but it was just that, it was more teaching me how to be a good person and a good family person. And I think that I really internalized that as, this is how I want to be. And it just so happens I'm a guy that, that kind of came into me of how important family was, and family is number one, and always was number one to her. And I think that really kind of shaped me more than anything.
Good answer. Yeah. Do you want to jump in on that, Blaise, at all? Anything?
So no, mine was pretty much my grandma.
Okay.
No, my dad wasn't around coming up. Okay. But I had uncles. I had uncles who were around, so I tried to emulate what they were doing. I learned that I was supposed to provide. I learned that I was supposed to be the one who takes care of the family. Don't let anybody try to, threaten your family, or you pretty much sticking up for everybody. So regardless of what that meant, you're going to be the person who does that. But then, I got that side from them, being raised by my grandma, like Ryan said, I mean, she taught me how to raise a family. So, and that was the thing. So, and I think, for being a man, you have to take care of your home, regardless whether it be protecting them physically or raising your family as well. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. If I have to think about it, I would say like all of my family. I think both my parents. One of the things that of just how I don't know if it was specifically how to be a good man, but it was how to be a good person, and how to treat people, how to have a belief system, how to be responsible, how to. One of the things I just remember a lot from growing up is my parents were doing things, like they were always really busy, but there was always that belief taught to us, like treat people well, help people when you can, like, even if it's something small, it's being respectful, being kind, so I think that really helped me. And when I was growing up, of just kind of, having that foundation of just saying, all right, I want to be a good person. And then as I got older, I learned that there was just so many other stereotypes of what was men and women, and all that different stuff, all that toxic masculinity. But growing up, it wasn't, I think we were treated all like with respect, like my brothers and my sister, like we all, I think it was just about being good people. So I think that's kind of cool. All right, so David Barker is playing. So I'm just going to ask him his question. He can write it in the box, and then we'll go. Blaise will be up. So, David, I hope you're listening. All right. So who is one person that you respect in your life, and why? Do we want to go with that question, or do we want to go to another? That's a good one.
That's a good one. No,
that's a good one.
That one.
Hey, Blaise, you're up.
Who is one person in my life that I respect, and why?
Yeah.
My mom. She has, she's the role model. She's the person that I'm aspiring to be. She was 20 years in the Naval Reserves. She just retired a couple of years ago. Wow. She awesome. She is a major at a correctional facility. She made major in like 6 months after being promoted to captain. Oh so, gosh. So that's the thing. So she's like, looking at her, you wouldn't think she's my mom. She's so tiny. She looks like she's my sister. Wow. But she has, she's been through so much, and she's the first person in 5 generations in my family to get a master's degree. And, she is the person that I aspire to be like. She provides for her family. She looks out for us. She has her own stuff. She doesn't have to worry about a man trying to take care of her. She has her own stuff. Even though she has a boyfriend, she says, I pay all the bills. I do all of this stuff. So if I get tired of him, I want to kick him out, I can put him out. I was like, hey. But the thing about it, though, she doesn't she's continually planning for her future and trying to figure out what she's going to do next, what her next move is. And she's my biggest supporter. She's like my backbone, because whenever I go through things and I feel like I can't talk to anybody, I know that I can talk to her and she's not going to judge me. I know that I can talk to her and she's not going to go and tell everybody else what I'm thinking. She's my hero. She's my hero. And I mean, when I grow up, I want to be half the woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat. That's good. That's, yeah.
So I want to be half as good as she is, at least. I'm just hoping.
I have a feeling she's probably very proud. I have good intuition. I feel like.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I hope so.
Yeah, I have a feeling. Maybe we could have her all. Yes, Mama Blaise.
She ain't going for that.
I don't know. I can be pretty convincing. I will get her a T-shirt. It'll say #Mama Blaise.
I'm gonna tell you what. She is not as She is not as energetic as I am. How about that? I give you that, but she's like straight to the point. She is like firm. I was like, oh shit, let me get right.
I hope you gave her a T-shirt that says that, just so everyone knows. I think she's earned it. Of all that amazing accomplishments. That's beautiful.
No doubt.
She sounds like an amazing lady.
Thank you. She is. She really is.
Ryan, how about you?
Oh, I don't know if she's watching. Hopefully she's not, so I can talk about her. But no, I mean, there's a lot of people I respect, but I still have to say at the end of the day, it really is. It's my wife more than anyone, and I don't want to sound like that cliche, like, oh, because she's the greatest. It's not just that. I mean, we've been married 9 years. I would not be where I was right now without her. I mean, she supported me through my master's. I worked full time, and we had 2 kids at the time, and so she really had to pick up the slack at home, so to speak, because I was working and doing that, and all my long hours, and even now, like with this practice, I wouldn't have my practice right now if my wife wasn't here. Like I doubted myself and she didn't. You know what I mean? She was that encourager and was like, no, I know you can do it. I was like, I might need to get a second job just in case, like if I don't make it. And she's like, you can do it. And, and the fact that, I mean, she's a mom, we have 3 kids. I work sometimes too long. And she's going to school to get a nursing degree with 3 kids. Like it's just, there's so much that, she continues to show me. It's like, man, I wish I could do that. Like, she's just, she really is just amazing.
Wow.
That's awesome. She sounds like it.
Yeah.
If she's listening, she is. As long as she's listening, she is amazing.
And just like also it out there, like whatever he did, just forget it. Like,
right.
Next time he does anything, it was just a mistake. Like just remember, it's love him.
Everybody on Facebook knows now how you feel about this woman.
Hey, this is an international show. We get people from all over. So I mean,
see,
there we go.
Amazingness is now international.
That's right.
Okay.
Like, if you ever forget an anniversary or a birthday, like you're covered.
Yeah, but also on the flip side, if I ever say something that she's not being amazing, she'd be like, no, see, I have this video that was all over the world that you said I was. You can't take that back. You know what I mean? I'm like, I just gave her a trump card. It just hit me.
I can't help you with that one.
You kind of did.
It's on the internet.
You by yourself on that one.
Yeah, this is live. I can't rewind.
That's hysterical.
And it's on the internet, so you know it's true too, though.
Yes. Bonjour. I love it. I always read like when that girl meets that guy. He's a French mob. Bonjour. And he has like a fanny pack and all that shit. It's on the internet. It must be true. So David joined in. Thank you, David. He's saying my grandfather, he provided for his family. He helped raise his grandkids without ever raising his voice. There was nothing he couldn't do. He worked 50 years for the same company. He installed his own air conditioning in his house. He could paint beautiful watercolor paintings. He could build anything out of wood. He established a love for reading and learning in me. Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Thank you for sharing with that, David Barker. He just sounds like an amazing gentleman.
Yeah.
So, like, we got some pretty cool people in our circles. Like,
right?
Yeah. And, I was thinking there's so many people that I respect, but I say, like, I'm going to go with some really close friends of mine who they're all very different. But one of the things that they do is they teach me how to believe in myself when I have doubt, when I'm hard on myself, how to forgive myself, how to love myself, how to believe in myself. Mm-hmm. And also, I don't know about you guys, but one of the things I struggle sometimes is in like how to not get harsh in a harsh world. And how, when I get run down, when I get tired, when I get irritable, and their words of comfort, of humor, of joy, really helps me just kind of come back to who I want to be. So they're definitely some people in my circle that I love and respect.
Awesome.
So it sounds like we definitely have some amazing people in our corners. I love this.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Oh, Jamie's saying hi. Jamie Marriage.
Hey.
Jamie Marriage.
Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
All right. So if anyone else, Jamie, if you're just joining us, we're playing Therapeutic Jenga. via Zoom, via Facebook, via Pandemic 2020. So if anyone wants to play in, just ask a number, and we'll ask you the question and go from there. So I think, Blaise, you're up to choose a number.
Yes. Let me go. You know what? Let me go 33.
33.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Are you close to your family?
Yes, I am actually. Me and my family, we have a really interesting relationship. We are like we're tight knit. You know, although we might not hang out with each other as much as we used to because life and everybody has their own families and stuff like that. But as far as extended family goes, if they need me, I'm going to be there. Now, my personal little family here, oh, that's my world right there.
I have seen them.
Oh my God, they are my world. I'm surprised that they're not down here right now. If Gracie knew that I was on the computer and other people were talking, she'd probably be down here right now.
Right. I've seen
those
pictures
two
of them and they look amazing.
Yeah, thank you. They get it from their mom. So
all right, that's a little toxic masculinity. We're going to address that. Don't worry. I have a feeling their flavor also comes from their father.
But yeah, so they are my world. We do everything together. So I'm trying to teach them how to, they want to be where I am. They want to do the things that I do. And I want to be around them as much as I possibly can.
Right.
So that's, when I have them on my schedule at nights, I try not to do anything else. Wow. Because I'm all about them, and making that time and playing games and watching some of their very annoying YouTube shows.
Okay, we're gonna have to get that because I don't understand. But like, are your kids? Are they watching people play Minecraft? That's a thing now.
So yes. They watch them play Roblox. So then, Ron, how old are your kids?
5, 8, and 12.
Okay, so do they watch like Chad Wildclay or Rebecca Zamolo and all of those people?
And maybe one of them. Like they don't watch too much. They do watch some Roblox, and I try to walk in another room and do something.
Bruh, it's like and I try, Patrick. I fake it so well that I'm interested, but it's really, really hard. It's really hard.
I went to a friend's house and they were watching it. And I didn't know that was a thing. And then it was snack time. And my friend's kid lost it because he's like, I'm watching, like he's playing Minecraft, and like getting a snack, dude. Like it'll be okay. It's literally on pause. Funny.
It's really that serious though. It is not a game. It is not a game. You can't, if you take them away from it, they will be ready to fight you. They will probably cut you if it comes to that point. It's that bad. It is that bad.
They don't want to miss that one thing because that one block is what makes or breaks the whole thing.
Exactly.
This is epic. They will cut you. This is the best Friday Night Feels ever. And they look tiny in their picture, but the tiny ones they're like scrappy. They like will cut you and then you don't even see them coming.
So Gracie is sneaky. She'll come up. She's like a beautiful little girl, and she got a front 2 TV guns. She's like a vampire. So it's that much cuter. And so what she does is she'll come in and she'll kill you with that little face. But when she gets angry, if you don't do her, oh boy, I think I seen her head spin around and green shit fly out of her mouth one time.
You know what?
That's that bad.
Did you offer her a pumpkin spice latte? She might just not know how to communicate with you.
I mean, yeah, you know what? She is biracial, so I should offer that to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. She is. I totally stereotyped that, but I'm just saying.
You did, and that's okay. I'm going with it. I'm not agreeing with you.
Yeah. All right, so close to family, going to Ryan. Stereotypes, man box. Let's just go with it.
My bad.
Oh, that is awesome. Oh, wow. That was funny. Okay, so my same thing. looking at, like my immediate family, like at my house, I mean, we're all pretty close. I mean, I do work a lot, but when I'm home, we try to do as much as we can. And even if it's just hanging out at the house, especially with COVID, like we ain't doing anything.
Right.
We're all sitting around. So I do feel, that's kind of nice. Where we live, we're closer to most of my family, or at least a big portion. I mean, I talk to my mom almost every day. Like during the week, my dad I'll call every once in a while, and him and I are close. Like if I need something, he can help me out. I have an amazing stepdad who has helped me through so much with because I'm not handy, and I'm sure we'll get to that. Not being a man, like I can't do that. My stepdad has spent more time over here, kind of coaching me through everything. So I'm very fortunate. And then I have my grandparents are here. My one grandma I talk to multiple times a week. My brother and I, we talk. We don't hang out or anything, but I know if I really need him, he's there. If he really needs me, he'll call me. So I'm kind of lucky being here. My wife's family is all kind of spread out everywhere. But we're all, even that, I'm very lucky. I don't really have those terrible in-laws. Like, what I mean? There's always that joke about when you get married, you're going to have these, in-laws from hell. And I'm not just saying that because they may be listening. Like, I'm really not. I'm very lucky.
On the Facebook?
I don't know. They might be, but even if they were, I am very fortunate that I do get along with all of them. They've helped us out in many different ways, so that's kind of nice to be able to kind of have everybody when we need them.
That's awesome. It's funny. Sorry, go ahead, please. Did I cut you off?
No, I was gonna say, can we acknowledge the fact that you called it? Are they on the Facebook? I didn't want to let that slide by because you said it and it was so slick, and I was just like, we ain't gonna let that slide, are we?
Yeah,
well,
that's a
I
really
was gonna say
habit
it's
of mine.
gonna be on the YouTube after too.
I'll say, just give me time. I'll say it without not thinking about it. It's I add the to everything and an S to everything. I'm going to Walmart's. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why. It does real bad.
The Walmart's?
I don't know why.
I'm judging. I am judging on that one. The Walmart.
Get it together. I know, and I'm from Western PA. We don't talk like that. I don't know where I got it from. But
we'll chat. I'll work with you on that one. It's just,
so I do need a therapist to break that
I know a couple good EMDR therapists. We could probably find you someone.
Yes. We're sure we can work it out for sure.
It's so funny. My mom tried to get on the Facebook once, and it was such a nightmare that I was like, my brother is the one who tried to convince her. I'm like, call him. I'm not. I can't. What is it doing? Why is it blinking? What is it then? Someone wants to request. I'm like, don't accept a friend request if you don't know them. Someone I don't know, with name you can't doesn't have any vowels. Just what are you doing? What are you doing? Just stop. I think every family dynamic is interesting. I come from a large family. We're all very different. We have really different personalities, different interests. We're all over the place. But kind of, one of the things that I've seen as we've gotten older is if there is ever an emergency, there's something that happened a few years ago. And every difference, every issue just got washed away because it was it was there, that connection. Even if it wasn't a physical thing, there was communication and what can we do? So and I think that's okay. Sometimes you're closer. Being in a large family, I'm the youngest. So it's sometimes you're just different. But when that connection, there are times where I can go for a while and not talk to one of my siblings, but then once you do, it's all of a sudden these memories, these jokes, all the jokes, hey, you remember when Dad did this? Or one of my brother, he's not on the Facebook. This one brother, I grew up in the age where there's spanking, right? And so my parents rarely did it. At least by the time I was around, I think they were so tired they were just do whatever you want after 5 other kids. They're whatever. But my brother was so clever. My dad was gonna go spank him, and he put a book in his pants, thinking Dad's never gonna notice there's a book. So I hope that's okay. He's not on the Facebook.
They
so
notice.
He'll never see this. He'll never see this.
They notice.
I think I would notice. I think I would definitely notice that.
But you gotta give a little kid credit. Like, he was pretty creative.
That is creative.
It's creative. It's definitely creative.
That's the stock that I come from. Of how do I obliviously try to hide from being spanked? Like, that's my credit. Okay. But
you know what? You should be happy you got spanked and not whooped.
I give thanks.
So, whoopings are way worse than spankings.
I don't really want either at this point, so I don't. I'm good. So Jamie joined in with the game. So Jamie, I hope you're paying attention. This is actually a good question. If you could meet any Disney character, who would it be?
Oh. It's Ryan's turn to go first, right?
Oh, now that's what I'm talking about, man. Oh, man. I thought we were like bald head buddies here. Like, you know what I mean? But,
now listen, don't forget.
I know, I got Star Wars, so I'm good.
Yeah,
they're Disney now.
I got Marvel. Disney bought Star Wars, so.
And I can, yeah.
Got galaxies here.
So, I definitely won't use Darth Vader just because he would probably, just kill me. But I think if I were to meet it's sad that I keep going to Darth Vader. I don't know what that says about me. I don't know. I think it would just be fun just to meet Yoda. I mean, yeah, he talks in riddles and it's not the correct way to talk, but I don't know. He has a lot of wisdom, and I think if anyone could, I don't know, just guide me out. And he has the Force. Who knows? He might be able to tell me what to do or what not to do. Tell me, like, oh, you're going down the wrong path, and pointing out my love for Darth Vader is not healthy.
Do you know what, though? I have an issue with Darth Vader's journey, because if you really look through it, talking about toxic masculinity and through the trauma lens, he got the raw end of the deal.
Yeah,
he did. He did.
He gets screwed in his entire life, and then he's thrown into lava. Okay? Yeah. Just because he may have killed people. Yes, but like before that,
just a few.
You're kind of skimming over.
Yeah, sorry, there's a disconnection. Like, see how I just slid it in there, just like the Facebook? But before he became a homicidal maniac and killed all the Jedi and the children, which bothers me.
The youngins, like that was
the young ones. Yeah.
If you think about it, his whole life was trauma. And I remember watching the newer one, like the prequels, and they were like, there's disturbance in your force. I'm like, maybe he needs a bloody hug. Maybe he needs to have a good cry. Like, he's in love with this woman. He's being told by these people he loves and respects that he can't be with them. And, when you're in love, you're in love. And it, so I wonder if they had just kind of used the Force and, I don't know, some communication skills. We could have prevented some darkness.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. That's good, though.
I mean, he probably could have benefited from some EMDR. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. He probably could have benefited from a lot of it.
Yeah, being a slave and, finding your mom murdered and, all that fun stuff. Like, she wasn't murdered just yet, but she was dying. Like, that could probably have a little impact on you as a kid.
Yeah.
Or adolescent.
All right, Jamie. Jamie is sharing in. She's saying he did. She's jumping in with her. Darth Vader means you have parts. Winky face. She'll go. I'll go with Star Wars. Love for Anakin and Darth. I think we see that of. In talking about toxic masculinity, talking about putting, the guy like he's the villain. But at that last moment, he's like, I choose love, and I think that was that redemption of, that. What do they call Silky Sullivan? The kind, I remember someone told me like that last moment of, I'm gonna choose love on this one and save you. Yeah, and I think that's a really good one. What about you, Blaise? Who are you gonna be in? Who would you like to meet in Disney?
So it's tough for me. This is a tough one. I kind of it's kind of a tie. It would either be Black Panther or Wolverine.
Ooh,
those are both good.
Those are good ones.
So Black Panther, obviously, king of Wakanda, all this super technology, brilliant, scientists, martial artists, acrobat, all these different types of things. He has the keys to make the whole world a better place. And the thing about it, he was just like, the conflict of keeping Wakanda secret or bringing everything out. That was that's a big deal.
Yes.
Am I going to preserve who we are and keep us safe, so people won't try to weaponize all the stuff we have and turn it against everybody else? But then it got me thinking about Killmonger while I'm thinking about this, because although the way he was going about it was wrong, it was kind of right the way he was trying to do it. He was an anti-hero, I guess, if you think about it. But then Wolverine, if you want to talk about some trauma, the dude's basically immortal.
Yeah.
How many wars has he been in? How many friends have he seen die? How many lovers has he seen die?
Right.
How many people has he killed? And then, his dad ain't his dad. His biggest enemy is his brother, all this stuff. And it's just like, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And so, and then not to mention the fact that what happened to him to get his claws, his adamantium claws, that's traumatic all in itself. And then having Magneto pull all of the adamantium out, and then he gets the stuff done again. It's a lot.
Vilified again.
Yeah.
And violated.
Yep.
Over and over again. And as a guy, I mean, talk about toxic masculinity, is then you don't process it, you don't talk about it, you don't deal with it, you don't cry, you just shove it. And so, what do we see? It's like that's when we're talking about the man box and the socialization of men, of basically we're taught in a way of men to be a good man, to have that box, you don't show emotion. I think Ryan and I, we've talked about that. It's like you can be happy, but not too happy, right? I think we were saying that.
Yeah.
You can't show tears. Like you have to, being heterosexual, you have to like sport, all of those stereotypes. And if you deviate from that, all of a sudden your manhood, your man card is being threatened.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't know about,
that's the thing.
Yeah. And I don't know what your experiences were, but like growing up, one of the things, like if someone was going to bully you, if you didn't fit in, or someone just wanted to hurt you, like the first thing they would go to is your sexuality. Like at least in my school, like it would be like, I'm going to tell people you're gay, or they'd be like, you're a faggot. They would go to that of not even tell you like what their problem is with you, but they would just go to that, I'm going to take away any masculinity that you feel.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree with that.
And then, just having to deal with that of what do you do with that, and how to break that. It's really hard.
Yeah, but
I agree.
my thing is just like, why that off the jump? Because I have so I have a cousin who's gay, right? And he has been that people want to try him because of that. But the thing about it is, my cousin will beat your damn ass, and people know it. And that's the thing. They wouldn't after that first ass whooping that he give them, they don't want to try him anymore. And that's the thing is, it's like, you keep on attack that if you want to, but I'm gonna show you that I ain't want to be messed with. Right. And it's like, but it makes me wonder, why is that the first thing that people want to attack? Is it because they aren't in touch themselves? Is it showing how weak they really are? Right. Or is that showing that fear? Because if I break you down, that I don't have to do this because I might not be able to back what I'm trying to say up.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And I think for a lot of them, and I don't know how old you guys are compared to me, I think it slowly started, when I was in high school. It wasn't that as much. Did it happen? Yeah, it happened, but I don't know if it became more of a a slight more tolerance. Not that, I mean, there's still not a huge tolerance. It's getting better, at least where I live. I do feel it's getting better, but that didn't seem to be as much as the insult anymore. But it did, and I think why is because you're not you can't be a man. You know what I mean? Like if you're a homosexual, you're not a man. You know what I mean? So I'm going to take that away from you, and two, I think, like you said, we're not in touch with it. So if Joe over here is in touch with his emotions, he can't be a man. So what other word for that? Oh, he's gay. You know what I mean? He's whatever, because that's easy to target. Right. Instead of like, crap, he's using emotional words, and that's scary for me.
Yep. And that, I love working with guys. One of the biggest things, I love working, I'm going to go like with anger management with guys, because if they're feeling anger, if we're programmed to deal with anger, right? Like if I can be angry, if I can do any of this, but when you start like peeling those layers apart, and they start, well, I'm really kind of embarrassed. I was humiliated. I was offended. All of a sudden, you just see that their world is changed. Where it doesn't, but it is that belief of you're less than. Like, let's say if you are gay, or I think we're seeing a lot of violence towards transgender people, and it's just like it goes from one to another to another. It's like, okay, what is this all about? Like, beating someone down doesn't make me a man. Like I see it where it's like, if you don't fit in this way, if like before puberty, you have a higher voice, like you get made fun of that. Like going through puberty is traumatic for most guys. We don't talk about that.
Right.
And what it's like, trying to get guidance on. There's this book that I read, and I recommend. It's called "I Used to Be a Miserable Fuck." And it's an awesome book where it's a male therapist talking to guys. I mean, women, obviously it's for everyone, but he talks about stuff that I went through, and I think a lot of guys go through, that we never talk about. Like what it's like, being in the locker room at school, growing up, how to date, how to be a good partner, how to have sex, how to have a healthy sex life, how to be a good father, how to be a good, all of these things. And we're, if we don't know it, we feel shitty about ourselves because we're supposed to know it. Yeah. And I think when we're talking about toxic masculinity, that really brings it in, of just like, this belief of we're supposed to know everything. And one of the things,
solve every problem.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I just didn't agree with you. I was just like, we have to be able to solve all the problems.
Yeah, and one of the things too that, what? Hello.
You say hi.
Hi. Oh. So I'm Patrick.
Hi.
And this is Ryan.
I'm Ryan.
Could say hi, Mr. Patrick. Hi, Mr. Ryan.
Hi, Mr. Patrick. Hi, Mr. Ryan.
Hi. It's so nice. Are you having a good week?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I love your hair.
Say yes, sir.
She's more polite than I am.
She better be.
Can she hear me?
Yes, she can.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know if she had headphones. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, so Gracie, how old are you?
Go ahead on. You can tell me.
I forgot what he said.
How old are you?
How old are you?
6.5.
6.5. Do you know my niece is 9 and her name is Gracie too?
Wow.
Connected.
Wow.
Yeah. I was gonna say that too. It's like we'll have to get them together one day.
No doubt. You good? Okay. Can I finish? All right, let me kiss.
It was nice meeting you. You just made the show.
Nice meeting you. It's better now.
I mean, that was amazing. She's beautiful.
She's adorable. I love the hair. Beautiful. Blaise, did you do that?
I did not. I used to do her hair. And then her mom said, "Hey, I'm gonna take care of that." So she goes to the salon every other Wednesday now. So I'm so happy because it's a lot. It was a lot.
Like, I'm a guy with long hair, and all I can do is put it up. Like, someone tried to teach me how to do a braid, and I was like, I can't. So I applaud you for, being able to do, like, I just not. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah. That's why I have no hair. Like, I just was like, I'm done. I can't do it. I don't have my hair.
That used to be our thing. That used to be our thing to do, like, every week, me doing our hair. So, but now it's like, okay, thank you for helping me, because it's got to be too hard to manage, because her hair was just as long as yours, if not longer before, and curly. So I was just like, oh, bruh. So,
I'm just gonna jump in here real quick. So David is jumping in. Are we speaking strictly Disney animation? Are we including Star Wars and Marvel? David, this is Friday Night Feels. It's filter free, so we can really do whatever we want. So he went with Indiana Jones. That's a good. I don't know if I've ever seen a full Indiana Jones movie.
What?
I feel
that's
what?
I know. You know what though? I made up for it because I went to Disney World and I was like part of Indiana Jones, so that wins.
Okay. All right.
I'll give you a little credit.
I remember the snakes.
So yeah.
I remember the snakes.
Just watch any of them but the last one.
Yeah.
The Crystal Skull, right? Is that
Yeah,
right?
Crystal Skull. Yeah.
All right, next time we
My
have
personal favorite. Personal favorite is the Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom is my personal favorite.
that sounds uplifting. That's fucking
Hey, you can Gali Maj Shakti Day the hell out of somebody if you want to. So you be all right.
We're getting some violence on Mr. Blaise. Like, come on now.
Look, hey, I wasn't taught to be happy. I can only be so happy, but I can be angry.
I love that you just said that to me. That is amazing. I run an anger management group. Like, I can help you with that. Yeah, like, I know a guy. And all right. One of the things, like, for a long time I was teaching in psychology, gender, women's studies, and we would talk about feminism and privilege, and it always made me nervous because I'm like, I know that there's going to be a wall, I know there's going to be animosity, and I always just tried to approach it as saying, this is really just about equality. This is just about people being able to be who they are in a healthy way. And it's not about taking anything from you. It's about them not having to be afraid, them not being targeted, them not, anyone who's different, just being able to be safe. That's how I look at it. And, when we talk about, privilege is a whole other world that we can get into. But I think toxic masculinity, it isn't about, and I think that's where there's so much confusion. It isn't about not being guy. It's not about giving up. It's not about being more feminine, as if feminine something's wrong. Which we're taught. I remember one time when I was younger, I saw some family members, I was walking. I was a little kid, I was walking, and I saw them, and I remember I just waved, like, oh my God, I was so excited, just to see them. And they said something to my family about, Patrick needs to know how to wave as a boy. He was waving as a little girl.
What? So, I know there was a difference.
Neither did I at that point. But when what I was saying, before about some of, sometimes the messages are so hidden that until we have these discussions, like, when I'm reading about different, social injustices or different things of what's going on, I really will sit and say, when did I experience this? When did I get this message that, girls are wrong or boys are, I grew up a lot. I don't know if you guys heard this, but like, Blaise, did we lose you?
Uh-oh.
I'm like, I don't know if he.
It says he's. I don't know. Maybe we lost him for. Oh, yep, we lost him for a minute.
Oh no. All right, hopefully he'll come back. Wait, give me one. Come back. There's a lovely Shauna speaking. I don't know. So
I don't know her.
Oh, okay. So she's saying, how cute is you? Blaise isn't here. It's and then my little sister's name is Gracie too. She's 11. Oh yay. It's a beautiful name, isn't it? I always call her I always call her my beautiful niece. She's like, really? Like, because we don't see each other that often, but
yeah.
Being able to look at her, it's like, well, I want you to know. Jamie's offering, Jamie, I will take you up on this. Hopefully Blaise comes back. Let me braid your hair when I come up north, Patrick. Jamie, I trust you with so many things. I will trust you with it.
You can braid your hair. I'll braid my beard for the next one,
and we can. You need to get Gracie's beads. If not,
yeah, I'll braid the beard. You braid your hair for the next time I join you on one of these.
Yeah, Blaise, are you okay? Oh my God, it keeps looking like he's having a stroke.
So he's back and not, and I can't see. I never get to see him unless he talks.
Oh, you can change your thing there, buddy.
Oh man.
Oh.
Is that better?
Uh-oh.
What? It's R2D2! It's happened! It's happened! Oh my God, he tapped in to the Star Wars galaxy.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, are you okay?
So, hold on.
Your picture froze and it looks like you're having a stroke. All right,
no.
so being able to look at when we're talking about different things like that of just learning, the man box of, and that I wanted to say that too is this is also for people watching who may not know it's. Oh my God! Wait, Blaise, what in the hell?
I know. I just keep hearing him laughing.
It's a little Joker-ish if you want.
Like a Riddler. Like he's not being shy. He's just kind of like peering in and laughing and disappearing.
What? Hey, buddy. How's it going? Oh my God.
All right.
There
So
we
I don't
go.
know what's going on with me.
What's happening?
So my bad. My stuff's tripping.
Oh, all right. And someone just said, just so I know, Jamie did say hi to Gracie, so you can send her love. David is saying the last crusade is where it's at, Vinny and Joe. I'm going to have to check this out. I don't know why I missed it.
It's still Temple of Doom. I don't care what they say. It's Temple of Doom.
Right. Sorry, my dog wants attention. This is National Awareness Suicide Prevention Month. And also, one of the things that I've seen in research is that men are the one, a higher percentage chance of attempting, if not committing suicide.
Yes.
So when we're talking about, with all the joking and everything, it is serious of when we're talking about men not being able to process their feelings or identify them or express them. What we do is then we push them down, and then it becomes like poison. And that's not going to come out in a good way.
No.
And I don't know what you guys see, like when you're dealing with, with guys, like you can see it in there. It's like they just don't know how to get it out.
Exactly. I actually addressed this to my department. And one of the statistics that I talk about was how the majority of men who complete suicide are white males. I think it was 67.57% or something like that.
Wow.
All right. And then, 57.57%. And then the main means is firearms. All right. And I looked at the men. I said, y'all look around the room. What is our fire department and most fire departments across the country comprised of? Middle-aged white males. And we're in the South. So it's a good chance that the majority of the middle-aged white males in our department and in the fire departments across the country have a firearm, whether it be for hunting or for personal protection. So it's an issue. We've had more firefighters die by suicide than line of duty deaths, I think, in 2017.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's an issue. It's a problem. And me being I've had 2 attempts. And I gladly have this tattooed across here where my first attempt came across. And I got my semicolons around here. So when people even joke about saying shit like this, I take it very seriously.
Yeah.
And I let them know, it's like, look, you don't have to bottle this up. You don't have to be alone when you're doing this. There are people that you can talk to. There's some stuff you don't have to carry this burden by yourself. I don't care how much of a man you think you are. The manly thing is going to talk about it.
Yeah, and I think you hit on such a huge thing right there too. Is that the manliness? I think for so long, and I personally do think it's getting a little bit better. I see it getting better at least, but I've heard it in my office too. Men, so many of the guys I've worked with don't know how to share any emotions, or it's like, oh, it's not a big deal, and they'll even discount what they're feeling too. And then I've seen so many, and I still think a lot of the ones I've seen were like middle-aged white males, and where the area I live, that is predominantly the population. In my area, it's a lot of like, oh, we just go to the bar and we'll talk and we'll just drink. Yeah. And that becomes, even if they're not getting drunk, I don't want to say everyone is an alcoholic by any means, but it's like it's acceptable.
Socially acceptable. It's safe.
That's their cope. That's their coping skill, because they drink. They don't got to think about it then.
Right.
I don't got to deal with this stuff no more.
Well-
yeah, and they could throw and it's like there's only a few safe topics to talk with my buddies here. Like, oh, I'll complain about the wife, the kids, the job.
Yeah.
But it's a surface. I can surface level complain.
Mhm.
Yes.
I can't tell you that when my wife told me no, and wouldn't. And most guys will be like, oh, she didn't have sex with me. So how and they make it all manly, but it's like when she said she wouldn't have sex with me, like, God, that made me feel that like I just wasn't attracted, like I didn't matter to her.
Yeah.
But we can't say that. That's not safe. That makes me look bad. So it's just like, oh,
Like
I
you're
can't
not
believe
man enough to make your wife happy.
Exactly.
And then you have that flip side. Blaise, you said something like that to me, and you try. I have to agree with you because maybe I'm going through that too, but it's not manly for me to respond back to you like, I know, man, when she did that to me, like I felt like crap.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, how dare her? Well, yeah, when my wife does that to me, I now make some chauvinistic joke to lighten the mood back up so that
and dehumanize her.
Yeah, I don't want it to go any lower because if it goes lower, then I might have to share something that is not manly of me or admit that I'm not a man.
Or be vulnerable.
Be vulnerable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the issue, and this is like we got people who are dying because they're scared to talk about how they really feel about stuff, and to me that's jacked up.
Yeah, and in this area, we have prisons and jails and stuff, so we have a lot of COs, and that's their own struggles as well. But what I found in this area, which is frustrating, is there are people who talking about men who reach out for help. First of all, there's an insurance issue in New York that, for example, a lot of the state insurance, so you got a great job as a state employee, but there's not a lot of mental health counselors who are on your insurance. So I've known people who, they work in, they're 5 minutes from my office, but I'm not in network, so they have to go to Vermont to find someone who has a wait list of 6 months. So what happens in 6 months? Their mental health deteriorates, they're increasing drinking, and but also they're not happy or healthy, and they don't have to live that way. Yeah. That's what pisses me off. Of like, you don't have to be miserable, and that's what when we're talking about toxic masculinity and all this other stuff. Of you can be happy, you deserve it, you deserve to be healthy, you deserve to have a future.
No, I agree.
Yes.
But the one thing I noticed with that word toxic masculinity is when people who maybe kind of fit that mold a little more than others, when they hear how bad toxic masculinity is, and I've heard this in my office, it's almost like, well, I'm not going to share I can't be that emotional. I don't want to be. And they take it to the extreme. Like, so many men, I think, struggle to see, like, it's okay if you don't cry over everything. Like, that's not what we're saying. Like, you don't have to turn into somebody who bawls and cries over every little thing. If you do, fine. Like, that's not a problem. Right. But it's like, that's not what we're saying.
Right.
We're saying you just can open up and share things, and that's okay. That doesn't make you less of a man. That makes you more of a human. Like, because they're there. I don't care how manly you are. You have emotions. It's like, do I want to hold those in and go to an unhealthy route, or do I want to share them? And if I cry a little bit, not a big deal. But I know a lot of men who can share it. They just don't cry. And it's not because they're scared to. It's just,
it's not their process.
That's not the way they process it.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think when you said it goes to the extreme, I think people think that you got to be a dick to be more of a man.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's like, no, you don't. You know what I mean? Just take some of that assholiness out of yourself. Just and just just allow yourself to feel.
Yeah, I remember I was running a group once, and the guy was like, "Well, yeah, like we're guys. We'll just go in the parking lot, kick the shit out of each other, and then we're over." I'm like, "Yeah," and then you caught a felony or an attack. Like you haven't learned any skills. Like, all right, you can beat the shit out of someone. Congratulations, you win the crown.
I know. Wow.
What happens when and what happens when you have conflict with your partner or with a boss? You can't, or your kids or a friend.
Let me go beat the shit out of them and be okay.
Yeah.
The other thing too, and I think Ryan, what you're bringing up too is.
God.
That's Friday Night Feels ever.
Oh, that was good. I like
that fear, I think, and this is, I think, generalized, women and children, that fear of if I go into therapy and I talk about this, I'm going to be someone I'm not anymore. I see that a lot, that I'm going to, who am I? I don't want to be this wall, but also, and then when we're talking about trauma too, of who am I if I don't have this trauma? who am I if I don't have this anger?
Yeah.
Because it's kept me safe, and that's
Yeah.
a good discussion.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
also challenge yourself, push yourself, and figure it out.
Yeah. And I think there's another thing too. I think, well, somebody, I don't remember who it was, we hit on it. It wasn't me though. I think for a lot of, I'm a therapist and I don't even know who said what already. Yeah, but there's this fear, I think, from a lot of men that if I share my emotions, I'm feminine. And for whatever reason,
I said that.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought that. I didn't want to discount Patrick or anything. But I think there's a fear from so many men that they don't want to be feminine because for whatever reason, so many men view feminism as this terrible, horrible thing. Or again, they take it to the extreme of the women that cry on a commercial of a lost dog. Like, it's like there's no middle ground. And it's like, no, that's not being feminine. But and not that that's a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with being a little bit feminine, but it's such a vast difference to so many men. Men can only be masculine.
And like being able to say, it's like what does it mean to be feminine? Like, who decides that?
Yeah, and when did being vulnerable equate to being feminine?
Right.
And that's the thing. It's like when did that happen?
I think it was a society thing for
so long. I want to find the guy and I want to kick his ass. That's what I want to do right now. I'm gonna
okay. So
no, I'm gonna get Gracie to kick his ass because I think she's scarier than I am.
She do it. She do it too. She don't play no games. She don't play no games.
I mean, come on now.
But Patrick, I know a guy who runs an anger group though. You might want to look into it.
I'm identifying my feelings. I'm identifying it. I'm processing it. You guys are supposed to support me. Jesus.
We are. We're trying to get you some help.
Yeah, we know there's someone out there that can really help that anger.
Maybe one day, problem. If I can find someone in my insurance network.
You know what you ought to do? Just stuff it down. And just stuff it down. Just
you know what? And it's funny, going back, to, when we were talking about, suppressing things, we also see that not just with alcohol, but we see it with sexual acting out. We see it with gambling. We see it with smoking. We see it with food, online, all these different things of detaching from the emotions of, how am I doing emotionally? How am I feeling?
Go ahead.
No, I love that movie Inside Out because it's such a great introduction.
Yes.
I can't watch it again though. I can't watch it again though. It's great though. I mean, but seriously, it's the way that it's the perfect representation of how we deal with stuff. Yeah. And even with I can't watch because of Bing Bong. Okay, I admit it. I can't go the Bing Bong. Bing Bong was the worst part.
Yeah, I get it.
So I mean, but that's the thing though. It's working through everything. That's the toughest part for us. And it's like I think a lot of men just don't know how.
Yep.
We don't know how. We've never been taught. We've always been taught. Provide, cook. Provide. Don't take no shit.
Protect.
Protect. Be the toughest person there or whatever. If somebody, talks junk about you, go out to the parking lot, beat them up. Mm-hmm. And that's it. It's no, okay, but how do I deal with a broken heart? Oh, so get on top, to get over one shit, you get on top of another.
Yep.
And that's the thing. It's just like, but I didn't learn how to deal with the heartbreak. Mm-hmm. How do I deal with losing my friend? How do I deal with losing my family member? Yes. You're not taught how to deal with these things. You know what? Suck it up, move on because it's going to happen again.
Right. Be tough.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but you got to be tough. You got to suck it up.
Yeah, I think what we're taught is from a lot of people, it's it's stoic, be stoic, like you said, suck it up. And if you need to, if it's really something really hard, just go find something else to distract. Be it alcohol, drugs, sex, gambling. Go find something that's gonna give you a shot of dopamine and happiness, and just substitute that. You won't think about it anymore.
Yeah.
And then and if it's legal, then it's even better because then you're still you're good. Like I said, like drinking, sex, most gambling. You know what I mean? Like that stuff is legal. Right. So you're that's what men do.
And no one's going to judge you. Like overeating, like no one's going to judge. It's like, oh, I'll take your money. You know, that's a big one of just, you know, how detrimental that could be.
Yeah.
They're not going to judge you until you're 400, 500 pounds.
But then
then you're not a man because
Then
you're not man
a
enough
man
to
because you
lose it, to stay in
Yeah.
healthy shape. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a whole other thing. Like we haven't even gotten into like body images of guys. Oh,
Yep.
next time. Oh yeah. So what I'm hearing is you guys are going to be coming back to do another men's night in, right? Like
Yeah.
on the Facebook,
Yeah.
on the Facebook
Yeah.
and on the
Facebook.
on the YouTube.
And we can put it on the YouTube, and then we'll go to the Walmarts afterwards.
So the Walmart, sweet Jesus. Okay, so I just want to say, wait a minute. There's.
I'm gonna be more conscious next time I talk to y'all. I'm gonna be very careful.
Okay. So, Blaise, this is going out to you. David's saying you're allowed to your opinion, Blaise, even if it's wrong. And then he clarifies. And then he clarifies that's in reference to the Indiana Jones debate.
Indiana Jones, yeah. I kind
At
of
first I read that, I was like, David, what's going on, buddy? Like, we're here. There's three talented therapists. We'll walk you through it, buddy.
I'm guessing he likes Sean Connery. He likes Sean Connery a little bit better.
I do not like Sean Connery though. He is.
Yeah, but still, Temple of Doom was better. I'm just saying, it's just what it was. David.
Did you guys see that movie where he like the League of?
Oh gosh, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I was like, this is the longest movie of my life. Like, when is something going to happen?
I was expecting
it wasn't
so
that
much
good.
more. It had the potential. It had the potential to be so awesome.
If they had just talked to us, if they had just called us, we could have saved it.
I mean, I may have been like 8th grade, but like, I mean, I could have helped.
We would have you had the vision. You got the Star Wars shirt on. You were committed.
That's what works. That's And I would have just went to the parking lot and beat the shit out of people. But that's just how I roll.
And see, that's what's interesting when you talk about. See, what I learned, and I know this. Like, I remember hearing it from different sources. You know that. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you. I'm like, that is the biggest pile of bullshit that I've ever heard.
I know, that is a horrible thing to tell kids.
That's a horrible thing.
What I experienced is I just learned, like, I remember I was at this job once, and I was getting really bullied. Like, it was inappropriate, and no one did anything. And I remember, you know, someone in my circle went in one day to pick me up because I was still a young kid, and ripped the guy and told the guy who was bothering me like to F off. And I'd never seen like a difference of like, oh, you can challenge that.
Yeah. Because
I knew I wasn't strong enough to fight. So and I didn't know about, it was just like one of those messages of you see the extreme of, being violent or being the doormat, which has its consequences as well. And not about ever that balance of how do I be assertive? How do I know how to protect myself, but do it with integrity and honor and be like, all right, this is my boundary. I think that's another thing that's not taught.
And two, I mean, is that, because for some people that works, but also I think it's important is like, you can walk away, you know what I mean? Like, and it doesn't make you less of a man. Like, if somebody's going to make fun of me or challenge me, I'm more likely to laugh and walk away because I'm like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what your opinion is about me, really.
Right.
But it's like, that doesn't make someone less of a man if you acknowledge, like, if I try to be assertive, we're going to get in a fight, and either he's bigger than me, I don't care, I don't like fighting, whatever the reason is, that doesn't make me worse of a person.
Right.
I can just walk away.
Yeah, but that pride though, man, that's another thing. You ain't gonna walking away from a fight in so many people's eyes makes you a pussy.
Yeah, it does. You can't do that, and it goes back to that where, like you said, what we're taught is you're a pussy if you walk away, and not every person, and I think more people need to be taught, like, how to, not
conflict
like
resolution.
Yeah, that or just, it's okay if somebody thinks this about me. I don't have to internalize that.
But that opens that whole door too of where you get those internal messages.
No,
where you get those resources, and some people have that, some don't, and it's because that's one thing of when you're in school, like, where did you get those messages? It was always just like, do this, do that. It's hard because if you don't know it, how do you fix it?
Yeah.
It's like that ignorance, that trauma through ignorance. Is like, how do you know until you get older, and then you hopefully learn some skills, and you start advocating for yourself.
Yeah, EMDR, that'll do it.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, well,
it does work.
That's the other thing I was going to say with EMDR, with these people that don't want to talk about, one of the phrases in EMDR I love is I can do a lot with a little.
I love that, yeah.
And you don't have to go into the, but when you were, Blaise, when you were talking about, being a fireman, I remember years ago, before I even discovered EMDR, I did this training, and it was focused on people from 9/11, survivors of frontline workers of 9/11. But the therapy was about choosing a memory and retelling it. And it was traumatizing as the therapist and my client. I tried it, and they would spin out. And then I discovered EMDR, and within 1 session, 2 sessions, 5 sessions, people's anger, depression, loss just started to melt away.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a great therapy for men, because again, we can work on a memory where you were not a man, and I don't need to know that you weren't a man. Yep. I can give me a title, a little detail, just so I can help you target it. But you can tell me that, you can clear it, and I never have to know you weren't a man.
Yep.
And I've used that with those type of guys before, where I'm like, the great thing is, if there's something embarrassing you're ashamed of, like, I don't even need to know that. Like, I need to know so little that I'm good. And I think that's such a wonderful tool for EMDR therapists.
Yep.
Yeah. And the brain's going to do what it needs to.
Yeah, my supervisor tells me, Paula says, hit me with the highlights. Yep. Hit me with the headline. That's all I need. Just hit me with the headline. I'm good.
Yep. I love. That's how I am. I'm like, I don't want to know if you're gonna give me tons of details. I'm gonna stop you, and I don't need all that. You could tell it if you truly want it. It ain't gonna make therapy easier or better for us. Like, I need that highlight, and that's it.
Yeah, and then it helps the brain process that trauma.
No doubt.
And and that's why I love, when I first saw Inside Out, I was thinking, this is influenced by EMDR. Like, someone knew EMDR and talked about this, but it gives people a gentle vision to understand what's going on in the brain, what's happening when there's trauma, when it can't process, and how it's breaking off those little islands of joy and happiness. I was so surprised when I saw Inside Out. What was the name? Bebo?
Bing Bong.
He broke my heart too. Sadness, I just wanted a hug.
Yeah.
And I remember I had friends of mine who who are parents and would see this movie, and they hated Sadness. And I said, did you watch the whole thing? Like, did you watch the whole moral of a 2-hour movie of that she is needed just as much as joy? But I remember having that conversation, and I said, oh, you don't get it because you don't want to. Because if you acknowledge your sadness, then everything that sadness is holding on to is going to come out.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, it's hard. And that's the other thing too, of when you're working with an EMDR therapist or a good clinician, we hold that space for you. So you don't have to hold on to it. And just think of it that way, of all that tension, all that anger, even if you don't know what it is, asking yourself where you feel in your body. Do you have high blood pressure? Do you do that? Do you have ulcers? All these things that can be related to stress and trauma and anger, migraines and all this other stuff. And just imagine not holding on to that tension.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great.
I love it.
Breaking out of the man box, one Friday Night Feels at a time. I think we have a mission. So before we finish tonight, I have one more question for you.
Blaise goes first.
Are you ready?
Ah, damn it.
If you could have any candy, what would it be?
Any candy?
Any candy.
It's like for real candy or made up candy?
You know what? It's filter free, so you can do whatever the hell you want. You could be Willy Wonka of South Carolina.
I ain't in South Carolina though, Patrick.
Oh, North Carolina. Shit, sorry.
I don't even want to play this game no more now.
Listen, well, I validate your feelings, but suck off and be tough. Hit Gracie. Gracie will tell me right away.
Hey, meet me outside in the parking lot. We can handle this like gentlemen. Meet me in the parking lot of Walmarts right now.
We're gonna hug it out. We're gonna hug it out. I'm gonna air hug you right now.
Right back. You know what? I'm a simple dude. You give me Reese's Pieces, I'm set.
Oh, good choice. Classic.
Reese's Pieces. I'm a really simple man.
All right, Ryan, what about you?
Just straight up Reese's Cups.
Regular
especially, I don't know. It's hard. Like the Christmas ones, I think they're better. Like I said it, I think like the special ones taste better. I don't know why, And Patrick, you're a huge star, so I'm hoping maybe Reese's, like, somebody that works there is like listening to this.
I'm
you know
hoping
what I mean?
for that one day.
And whatever they do with the specials, the special ones, can they do that with the everyday ones? Because they're better.
What do they do with specials? I don't even pay.
I don't know. Like they just taste better. Like it's what is it? A Christmas tree. They'll all have like an egg. For holidays, like the holiday ones. I'm like, I don't know why they taste so much. I love Reese's Cups. I'll eat them any day. But they're better when
those eggs, though.
The
eggs are the shit. The eggs are the shit.
They are.
Yeah,
they are.
That's like joy in a package.
Yes.
It is.
I would go with my classic. I love Butterfingers.
Those are good.
I don't know. I don't know if it was the whole Bart Simpson thing. It might have been like a little subliminal message. Because I just remember, don't lay a finger on my Butterfinger. I remember once I tried a whatchamacallit, and it almost killed me. So I'm a little bitter about those.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I would be too.
I mean,
like those though.
Well, that's nice. You can have mine.
I will take it. Thank you.
You can have it and just dunk it in Gracie's pumpkin spice latte and just drown it down.
That's
it's funny, I know we're running out of time, but one thing is when I was in grad school, I needed some extra money. So actually 2 seasons I worked at, when we're talking about like, gender roles, is I worked at Bed Bath & Beyond. And I was one of the only guys there, and it was a complete gender role reversal that I've ever experienced. And I've never been spoken to like I was an idiot more in my life than when I worked there. Like, I didn't know, like, talk about things that smell good. I'm like, it all smells good. I don't know if I just want to smell like a cookie. Like, I don't judge you if you do, but I didn't know the difference between body cream, body butter, butter sprinkle, like lip gloss. It was a whole other world. And then I remember one time, one of my managers, sweet as pie, but she was, telling us what the specials are. And then she looks right at me. She goes, "Now, Patrick, what are the specials?" And I'm like, I'm going to cut someone. But I need Christmas money. But that what that taught me, and when I learned a lot later, and we can talk about this another time, is it taught me the humility of that's what women go through all the time. Mm-hmm. And that's what, if you're not a white, if you're not, then what people want you to be, that talking down to as if you're stupid. That, I know that word mansplaining, and I was talking to someone about that. They, because I said, well, I've experienced it where guys will do that to me. And I said, I think that's really just them being a dickhead because I'm not a woman. And they said, well, I think that's what, is that what mansplaining is? And I said, I think the mansplaining piece really has that sexist component of, I'm going to talk down to you because you're a woman.
And you can't possibly understand.
Right.
No way that you can. No way.
And it's such a shitty feeling. And I had a recent really upsetting experience where someone was really disrespectful to me. And I just wanted, and it was a guy doing it to me. And I really just wanted to do this like marketing thing of apologize to all women and any man child that has ever been spoken down to thinking someone was an idiot. Like, I was like, I still don't know the difference between body cream and body butter, but it sounds delicious. So I'm going to
it's taking everything I have to keep it clean. Oh my gosh.
Listen, we're going to do Friday Night Feels After Dark one day. So it will be, I have a whole other game set for that, so get ready.
All right, I'm ready.
Gentlemen, it has been my honor and pleasure having you tonight on Friday Night Feels. Thank you so much, Blaise and Ryan, for being here. It sounds like, you know, we're all in different areas that, you know, your communities have some amazing, caring, loving clinicians. And it's
thank
been
you.
great working
Thanks.
with you.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Thank you
Yeah.
for having us. It's been awesome.
All right, you guys all stay safe and have a good weekend.
You too. I'll see you guys.
All right, you
All
too.
right,
All right.
bye.
Later.
Bye.
Laters.